Hi everybody, welcome back to Karis's Corner. I am starting today with a 3-part series that I'm going to have for you guys, so there'll be one every week coming out. Basically what I wanted to do is just kind of catch everybody up to speed on where I've been. So for the past 8 or so months, I have actually been documenting and recording my fitness journey on Instagram. I basically just decided I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but I would just post stories whenever I made it to the gym or whatever I was eating. So I kind of started it for accountability. I kind of just wanted to post what I was eating and when I was going to the gym for myself, honestly, because I was like, if I'm posting on Instagram, it's gonna help me stay motivated. And then I ended up getting a lot of responses from people saying, this is really helping me, or this is really inspiring me, or motivating me. It honestly kind of changed my perspective of social media and made me really appreciate just the beauty of what sharing our lives can do for others. But anyway, that's not the point. So what I decided to do for these next couple videos is I actually screen recorded all of those stories, and I'm going to talk about the 3 main things that I've learned in that process. Now, I've learned a ton of things, so it was really hard to pull out the 3 main things that I've learned, but I decided to dedicate 3 videos to this, and so I'm sure I'll touch on other things throughout the course of the videos. But those 3 main things that I've learned are discipline, consistency, and balance. And so this video is going to be dedicated to discipline. One thing that was really important to me was to include you guys on the journey that I'm on and not just kind of show you, like I said in my first video, a finished product of who I am. I really want to take you along the journey. I feel like that's part of the beauty of seeing someone's story. I know a lot of times I'll go on YouTube and I'll see people's transformation stories, which are always really inspiring to me, but then all that they really show along the way are 1 or 2 photos of them in the past, and then they talk about how they were back then. But I kind of want to take you guys along the journey with me. So this is kind of a part of my effort to do that, just to share with you, kind of catch you up to speed. What have I been up to for the past 8 months? How have I changed in those 8 months? And then where we're headed. So yeah, come along with me on this journey. In all my life, I never considered myself to be someone who had discipline. I was never the hardest worker in school. I was never the hardest worker at my job. And I always just ended up feeling like something was kind of wrong with me. I feel like I would look at other people who were really dedicated, maybe at the gym, or really dedicated at work, or really dedicated students, and I would think, why don't I have that? Like, what am I missing in life that is not allowing me to be as driven and as disciplined as these other people? And maybe it was a combination of being fed up with myself or just wanting a change. I don't know what it was, but finally one day something just clicked in me, and I decided that having self-discipline is an act of self-love. I never thought of it that way before. I just thought that these people were superhuman and that, like I said, something was wrong with me. But slowly but surely, I started just training myself to do the same thing over and over again. I trained myself to eat healthy foods. I trained myself to go to the gym. And when I didn't want to go to the gym, I just went to the gym. Now, I will say that I had a trainer, and she was very helpful in helping me have discipline and keeping motivated. But for the most part, this was a journey that I had to kind of go on in my own mental health and in my own heart. So it's April of 2021. I just moved back home to my parents' house because I was really struggling financially, living on my own. And I was kind of at this low point. I was sitting in my bed sad all day for maybe about a week or 2. And I was just kind of feeling sorry for myself and wanting a change, but just didn't really want to put in the effort to do anything about it. And then I went on a trip with one of my friends who is so dedicated at the gym, and I just had one of those long car conversations where you just talk about everything, and I left feeling so motivated. So I guess that might be tip number 1. When you are looking to find more discipline in your life, find somebody who is already disciplined and emulate what they do. I mean, this girl goes to the gym all the time, no matter what, rain or shine, she's gonna make it because she knows that it makes her feel better and that it's good for her. And so I had that conversation with her. I talked to her about how I always felt that something was wrong with me, and that I never felt like I could be the kind of person who could just go to the gym, even though that's something that I dreamed of doing. And so I know this sounds really silly, but now that I go to the gym all the time, I'm living my dreams. Now that I eat 90% whole, clean, good foods, I am living my dream because I'm caring for myself, I'm caring for my body, and it's just like I said, a whole new act of self-love. So I came back from that trip with my friend, and I that night signed up for a gym membership. I got home, I went online, and I was like, if I can sign up for a gym membership over the computer, that's great, I'm doing it right now. So I found a gym that had what I was looking for. My only requirements were that it had a good weightlifting section because I knew I liked weightlifting, and that it had a pool because I wanted to diversify with swimming. So I found a great gym nearby, signed up that night, and went in the next day. And I've been going consistently ever since. And I never thought that I could be someone who would do this. I feel like a lot of people say that, but I really mean it. I remember just 1 year prior to doing all of this, I remember saying to my roommate, I'm the kind of person who just feels motivation sometimes, and then when I don't feel it, I just won't work. And looking back, I realized that that was a lack of discipline, right? You might have motivation from time to time, but motivation ebbs and flows. Discipline is what keeps you going and what keeps you strong and what keeps you consistent. There's that keyword that will come next week. But discipline is what keeps you going. And then as I gained discipline, it just got easier. It might be hard to start, but that's the hardest part. I always say to myself, anything that I'm scared to do, the hardest part is the first 10 seconds. So when it comes to the gym, the hardest part for me was the first 10 seconds of deciding whether or not I was going to take this gym membership. When it comes to maybe a social situation where I'm not super comfortable, the hardest part is just the first 10 seconds of walking in the door. If you're meeting someone new, if you're going on a date, the hardest part is the first 10 seconds. Once you get in there and you get over your nerves, that thing that you were the most scared to do tends to be the thing that proves to be so enriching and fulfilling in your life. I know that's how it's been in my experience. So for me, as I started documenting every day I was going to the gym, everything I was eating, gosh, I was just so proud of myself. And I wasn't competing against anybody else. It was just myself. It was like, how many, you got to the gym 4 times last week, can you get there 5? Or you rested no times last week, can you rest 2 times this week? It goes both ways. Balance is the third week we're going to talk about balance, and so it all comes into play. But as far as discipline goes, man, like I said, it just got easier and easier, and it got exciting. I got excited that I was someone who had discipline, that I was someone who cared about myself enough to put in the work and go. And you know what? The gym is such an exciting environment. It's filled with people who are working on themselves, who are disciplined. It's a great place to make friends who are like-minded. One day I will do a full My Fitness journey on this channel because, as I said in my first video, it's been about an 8-year journey that's gotten me to this point. But I will say that nothing has been like 2021. I have never been more disciplined, more consistent, and more balanced in my life. That's the piece I was missing. I used to be a vegan, and I used to do strength training back in college, but I would do it for about a week or a month, and I wouldn't see results, and I would give up. And I think that has to do with a lot of things, but the biggest thing is that I had absolutely no discipline. And so if you're listening to this today, I hope that you take something away from this. It doesn't have to be that you need to go to the gym 5 or 6 times a week, or even 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be that you need to eat nothing but kale and, broccoli. But I just want you to know that you can be the person that you've always envisioned yourself to be, and that there's nothing wrong with you. It just takes a little bit of work on yourself, a little bit of believing in yourself, and deciding that you're gonna care for yourself enough to be disciplined.
Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below and let me know maybe what areas you're trying to grow in discipline, or if this was helpful or anything like that. I just want to engage with you guys. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Next week we're talking about... What are we talking about? Next week we're talking about consistency. I was gonna say self-control. That's also a good life lesson, but next week we're talking about consistency. Alright guys, see you next time.